the CFP. Did they get it right? And I'm going to say this: did they get the right 10 teams in the CFP? We know they didn't get the right 12. No disrespect, but disrespect to JMU and Tulane. Did they get the right top 10 in there? Let's talk about it.
All right. So again, I'm gonna take Thomas' spot. So
Yep.
the
No
the
audio,
thing
Thoma.
the thing that's thrown it all off, man, was to answer your question. No, they didn't get it right, um, because the basis of the system was flawed, right? Because when you had to have those other two teams, like you said, and you shot it down to 10 prior to Sunday. I can't believe it. There's no way a 3-loss team was going to get in. That was like the whole deal, right? You've got all these 2-loss teams that are worthy of getting in. That immediately got muted once Bama lost the SEC championship. Like, no one cared. No one brought up any of those things. No one brought up Vandy having 2 losses, or BYU, or Notre Dame, or Miami. It was all then about, well, I mean, come on, y'all. They played for the SEC championship. So the 3-loss thing was really what threw me off on it, to say it wasn't the right team. Because, I mean, now granted, I am rooting for Alabama, but and I'm picking them, spoiler. But the thing about it is, man, I just think this is a perfect storm of things that went wrong with the system. And between ACC not having a true champion that's in it, we have to have 5 conference champions be in it, and so you don't count the ACC, but now you count 2 Power Fives that are in the top 25. It was all off, man. But it makes it cheaper for us. I know that sounds selfish, but it's way cheaper. And we'll talk about it. But I really want us to get into like last year, our Gulliver's Travels, like this show last year, about how we were planning out our entire road back to the championship. So to answer your question, nah, dog, they ain't get it right.
I'm gonna direct this over to, we have 5 hornsmen on here, and then we have one that is a close number 2 or 3 is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Gip, how do
Yeah.
you feel? Well, matter of fact, I'm gonna take off the Fighting Irish, the Notre Dame Quitting Irish. How do you feel about them being left out of the CFP playoffs?
Okay. Couple of thoughts here. Notre Dame did have a case to be in. I think that there's a valid argument to be made. 8 slots above Miami going into the end of the season. And I'm not hating on Miami. I'm simply stating what Wade stated earlier: was you have a system that was supposed to be adhered to. They didn't. The committee did not adhere to that system as it relates to Notre Dame, and not just Notre Dame. There was other inconsistencies as well. That's number one. Number two, you had Pete Bekwava, the AD from Notre Dame, that came out and said, I was mystified. I was completely mystified. That is a word that is underused in today's terminology. Misty, we missed you, Misty. So he was mystified. He himself, he said, I don't understand it. I don't get it. I'm mystified. I don't understand the methodology. You had us here. The ACC then started to hate on Notre Dame, which Notre Dame is a member of the ACC and 24 other sports. So that in and of itself showed you that the system was influenced. It was wrecked.
Well,
Lastly, did they need to? So I'll go into that topic. I think that was childish. I will take a term from Greg Groves. It was a childish move on their part, but it then opened up the floodgates for other schools to follow suit and say, you know what, I'm taking my ball and going home too, because I don't see a benefit in playing in a meaningless bowl out in South Dakota in the middle of end of December, early January, where my kids could be studying, doing finals, other things. So I think Notre Dame probably should have been in the conversation, should be in the playoffs, but I think there's some other inconsistencies, and we could talk about that later.
Notre Dame's best win on the season. Quick, Gip. Notre Dame's best win against who?
I don't have a best win for them. I think all their
they
wins
don't
should have
either.
mattered. I think all their wins should have mattered. I mean, what was their best loss? I mean,
Well,
let's look at their best loss. They lost to Miami by less than 7. They lost to A&M by less than 7.
Yeah, but
so if you their best win, then you have to look at their
I just
best
asked
loss.
a simple question. Just give me one, though.
I can't give you that. I can't give you their best win.
So I want to interject real quick and say the fact that their AD was mystified shows me one thing. He did not read the qualifications, the guidelines that the CFP committee members were going to go through to select the playoff teams. It is clear in there that if it comes down to it, they are going to go to a head to head. And Miami
which I
beat them
understand.
head to head,
They did.
and they lost to Miami. I mean, they lost to Notre. I'm sorry, they lost to Miami and Notre Dame.
A&M.
Miami and A&M. I'm going to get my words right.
Correct.
They lost to Miami and A&M, and the best ranked team they beat was a 15th ranked team. So they don't deserve to be in there. And the fact that he was
I think you,
mystified.
I think you have a broken. I think you have a broken
Well,
system.
sure,
It's not.
it's
Well,
broke when it doesn't work for you, right?
No,
yeah,
here
the
it's not
Kylie
about
Gibson
because it's not
logic.
about Notre Dame. I think Alabama
It
got
definitely is.
Alabama didn't get penalized for what they shouldn't have been penalized for, which is playing in the conference championship. They accumulated their third loss against a team that they went into their house and beat, which was Georgia. So they shouldn't have been penalized for that third loss. But you can't penalize a team for what they didn't do. You're like, that didn't make sense to me.
I'm gonna,
So the whole system's broken. It needs to be overhauled. They need to go to 16,
But what's
and
that
they
going
need
to
to
do
eliminate.
though? But
They,
what
they need to
16
eliminate the
is
bowl
like
games.
17 gonna be mad.
18. Yeah,
That's okay. 17 can be
I
mad,
have
but
an
you
I have
can't.
an
You get
answer.
to a point of diminishing returns.
And sorry, Gib, I have an answer for that, but I want to get Jonesy because the only thing he gives a piss about is Alabama. And so, Jonesy,
Only thing.
I want you to answer this question. Do
Mhm.
you believe Notre Dame would beat Alabama in a playoff game? Do you believe that?
Nope, not right now.
Okay.
Not the way
Okay.
that Alabama has been playing. Kylie, I think you raised some really good points. Maybe one thing to Rodney's point that was a little bit flawed was, yes, Alabama didn't get penalized for losing the conference championship. BYU did, unfortunately.
Right.
Maybe
That's
there's
right.
another flaw that one could say, at the end of the day, I think we really need to get rid of the G5 teams. No disrespect to James Madison or Tulane. I used to live in the 504. We know where it is. But it's all great in NCAA basketball, right? That's what they say over and over.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 68 schools in March Madness, and that's lovely. We can get everybody in there, but we're talking about 12. Now, I will say this, though. If James Madison or Tulane balls, this will all be quiet. Everybody will shut up. If they ball out,
Sure.
if they are the Davidson of the March Madness,
Yeah.
then at least go.
Yeah,
Shake up the world.
Steph Curry ain't walking through that door. To that point, though, they're so excited about it. ABC and ESPN said, "Hey, TNT, HBO, y'all can have the James Madison and the Tulane game."
Exactly.
Like that's when you know. That's when
all
you
boils down
know
to
that
money.
it's bigger. To your point, though, Jonesy, take away the G5 as an automatic. Take away but because if you get up to 9, James Madison or Tulane or USF, that's fine. But it's the automatic. Because here's the deal: the real problem is we wanted the 12 best teams,
Right. That's right.
and that part
We didn't get that.
and that part is not even close. And the reason we have to, and I truly don't have a problem with Alabama being a 3-loss team to make it, only because what I didn't realize, Alabama was the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
In the SEC championship.
Exactly.
They were the number 1 seed. And so what was crazy about that one was, because head-to-head plays a role, the thing about it is, how do you say that the number 1 seed going in doesn't get in, but
exactly
Ole Miss, what's that team?
Right.
Lassie them, the ones that stole the land right above Texas and West. Anyway.
Well, the idea that BYU, or excuse me, that there was even a conversation about Duke being included, just underscores that the system's not set up correctly. Thoma, we got you back live and in living color. So
I honestly, if we're back, I said, you know what, we needed the chaos, so they got it right because they got it so wrong. So let's blow this thing up, baby.
And to your point, they've changed it, right? So they tweaked it. Y'all wanted 12. I mean, I'm just going on our travels, right? So we make the Final Four. We go to the Washington, right? We make that one. Last year, y'all was stripping because the top 4 were the conference champion, and they So it's fluid. It's a revolving door. I personally don't think it needs to go to 16. Let's get 12 right first. Let's get 12 right, because 16 is gonna have something wrong too.
I have a solution, and I'll propose in a second. Thoma, we'll come to you next. But I want y'all prior to 12. it was four.
It was 4. Before that, it was 2.
Right?
Yep.
It was 4 teams. So quick, give me if it was 4 teams. Gip, does Texas Tech make it in the 4?
No.
Does it
Indiana,
in
Some
this?
SEC
Ohio
bias. It's
State,
going to be
Georgia.
big. Yeah.
Tom,
Yeah. Well, Tech, you're asking.
If it's
You
4
asked.
saying no, they wouldn't, in my opinion. Easy answer, no.
Georgia Jones.
Okay. I think you asked the question. I would suggest that Texas Tech is the 4th seed. So yes, inherently they
See, your
should
mic
be
doesn't
in
agree
there.
with you.
But that's given that you. Well, sorry that.
I know it happened to me too.
It ain't my turn, but it's my turn. I don't think there's a scenario, Kylie, where you believe that Texas Tech beats Georgia anywhere.
But Georgia's the 3.
I don't think that you think that.
Georgia's the 3 seed.
And
he asked about,
in
top 4.
I'm gonna say the same question. Do you think there is anywhere that Texas Tech beats Ohio State?
I just watched Ohio State lose a game.
Just answer the question, though.
I'm answering the question. Your question is not the right question. The question
is the right question because I'm asking
Texas
one more.
Tech.
Mine
deserve
is
to be in the
right
top
mind.
4. Is Texas Tech?
Well, who are the 3 above them, man? Since if it was your 4, who are your 4 then?
The 4 that are there, those are the ones that should be there.
And I'm saying that they wouldn't be there if it was just the 4.
So tell us who your 4th would be.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. So yes, Texas Tech would be in it. Let me take this back.
Okay, thank you.
So wait, who are your 4? You got Indiana.
Texas Tech would be 4. I would have Indiana. I would have it like this. I would have it Indiana because I'm petty. I would have it Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech. So Texas Tech plays Georgia, loses immediately, no doubt, and then Ohio State 4.
No, but I'm saying you think Texas Tech belongs in there. We're not taking their top 4.
Yes. I would put them because I don't think there's another SEC team that didn't win the conference championship would be better or more deserved.
Ole Miss or
A&M, I don't think so, or Ole Miss. Now, Ole Miss, take away Oregon, neither one coaching. I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
So I would definitely have Texas Tech.
Let me give you all some stats real quick. Texas Tech 12-1. They lost to unranked Arizona State 26-22. Number 5 Oregon 11-1 lost to Indiana. Who's the number 1 team?
No Ohio State, no Michigan.
Ole Miss 11-1. Well, Texas Tech only played BYU, but Ole Miss 11-1. Only lost to Georgia 43-35.
No Bama, no Texas.
Oregon got a good case.
Texas A&M 11-1 lost to. We know who they lost to. So I think it's one of those 7. And so you're telling me of those 7, Texas Tech belongs in there.
Yeah.
Over those.
Yeah, conference championship means something. The one loss means something.
Hold on. So James Madison. They won the conference championship.
Well, I said, I'm sorry. Let me take the best.
And then get your statement right.
Real conference championships mean something.
Okay.
We can't even name 3 more teams in James Madison Conference.
No,
we can't.
Kylie don't even know what state James Madison is in.
We don't. Okay. So
are they spiders?
You say
we got those teams. So I'm gonna Rodway. This is
Georgia. Georgia also was only 1 loss team as well. What are we talking?
Who'd you say?
Did you mention them? Did you say Georgia was also just a 1 loss team?
Yeah, I think Georgia is in there. I think everybody agrees that Georgia is in there.
Georgia got me stripped
Indiana's in there. Ohio State. I think we agree. All probably agree with those. It was just whether Texas Tech and their loss to Arizona State is their bigger loss than Oregon.
But they dominated their whole conference after that, and BYU was the only thing that was somewhat decent in the conference. I guess Utah was as well, but primarily, and they just slapped BYU. They soaked them.
Soakers.
I'm gonna ask another question. So with the SEC getting an additional game, an additional conference game next year, so that means the 16 teams, 8 games, all the 8 teams in the SEC will have an additional loss next year.
Mm-hmm.
So you may have several 10-2 teams, 9-3 teams in there. And how does that look when we're looking at the playoff next year? What do you think about that extra game?
Well, I think the precedence this year is, I think that's part of the reason why they did it. They were foreshadowing. It's to me, it's almost going to be a guarantee if you make the conference championship in both Big Ten and SEC, you're going to be in. You're going to be in the 12 because we kind of know for the most part those conferences are going to have multiple bids. Now the crazy part is there's only one more bid in the Big Ten, which is Oregon. To your point, though, the winner of that game is huge because you get 3 weeks off. And I think the only chance like that Oklahoma has in this scenario is because, y'all saw Bama was beaten and bludgeoned. But that's going to be the biggest deal is that bye, that whoever that championship game winner is, or bye, meaning you go to a bowl. And plus, now what sucks for us, because we had a great time last year having the Clemson game and doing those things, but I think that rest, and then the cool part for the SEC and for us, the game is probably going to be Dallas, New Orleans, or Atlanta. So it's not going to be like, we're overly traveling to Phoenix or Miami for that first game.
Thoma, what are your thoughts?
I don't have any. I'm glad we have chaos theory in terms of what it looks like. I mean, I just want to acknowledge 2 points. Number one, we didn't expect Notre Dame to run through and beat Georgia last year. So to Kali, that's the statement you have gone with, right? But number two, this is great marketing, great baby marketing on their part because they've created a whole swell. And I think it's going to shake up potentially CFP, but definitely how bowl games, the operation of it moving forward, and what that looks like.
I want to say, America, we've heard swell and swill all in one episode of the
Don't forget
Hornsmen Show.
soak. Do not forget soak.
I don't know if everybody had that on their bingo card, but hear me out, fellas. I do have a suggestion, and if y'all have a suggestion too, I say we go to the top 20 teams. Top 20 teams make the CFP playoff. Get rid of the conference championship. The first 12 teams get a bye. So you're really going to get off about 2 weeks. You're going to start on the last game is the end of November. The first game will be the 13th. So you'll have that week. The first 12 teams will get a bye. 13 will play up to 20, home game, whatever. Mm-hmm. Then each week, and you can spread it out over 10 days because you have a little bit of time, 7 to 10 days, there's an additional playoff game. This only adds one more game to the current playoff structure. And remember, we're taking away a conference championship. So there is 2 weeks. Everybody's going to get 2 weeks off to get some rest in that time. So I think you get the top 20 teams in there. You can mix, if you want to mix in some of the Citrus Bowls and some of these other bowls. And for those that want to hear our outtakes, the banter beforehand was the bowls are obsolete and why should you play in them? But you can mix some of those bowls in there, and then you have the top 20 teams. Mm-hmm. And at that point, you have a true national championship. You have people that are going to the bowl games because they mean something, right? You have players that are sticking around to play in these games because they mean something. You have kids that are going to bowl games because they mean something. So all the games mean a little bit more, kind of like the SEC motto. Here things just mean a little bit more. It just means more. But all I'm saying is I think a 20-team playoff, leave out the conference championships, and you may have to look at the portal. You'll have to look at the portal and look at that stuff and switch that around. But I think more teams will be happy. Notre Dame won't cry. Hopefully they make the top 20 during that scenario. Any other suggestions on what y'all think the CFP matchup should look like? If not,
no, I think that's good, MD. And I think you get, so one thing I think when I just call his name out, Kali was kind of with the dismissing of the bowls. I think you miss some of the things that some of these cities it brings to, like, so the Alamo Bowl brings a ton of money to San Antonio. It's maybe called the Frosted Flakes Bowl now, but the Sun Bowl out there in El Paso. I do think in your realm, MD, you pick a certain number, then you can have like bowls almost due to like a proximity deal, right? The one thing I think that changed a ton about bowls, and we've been so lucky because we're in the South, bro, anybody pretty much north of like, and Virginia might be, they go to these bowl games, the true fans, just so they can get the warmth for the most part, right? So I definitely think that, MD, to your point, I do think there are elements that the bowl game does it for at least neutral sites because, bro, we go to these games, bro, and if there's a scenario, I mean, y'all saw last year when Tennessee played Ohio State or somebody played Penn State and it was like 12-6, like that's not safe.
Well, here's the good news. We have several weeks to discuss the bowl season.
Years. It's not going to change next year.
No, we have several weeks. We got time. Yeah, we got weeks. Yeah, years. You're right.
We got the good news.
Well, we only have this week. We're not going to talk about it. It's dead. We're keeping up with the pop culture things that are going on. And speaking of pop culture, we're going to take it over to Jonesy and Jonesy's cocktail mix. But as Jonesy sets up for the cocktail mix, I want to make sure I'm going to send it over to Spurlock right now. He's live coming from outer space in his Diddy animal print jacket, ready to tell you about
what animal print
and the bracket. So check it out.
The music.